What is up, buds? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Buds Fantasy Football Show. Today's going to be a little bit of a quicker episode. I'm going to obviously give you guys my ranks, quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and then I'm going to give you guys like stay away. I'm going to give you some breakouts or notable watches for the each position this week. Again, I am not going to do until I get people that are like, hey man, do tight end, do kicker, do defenses. We're going to stay away from that because guys, tight end, it's like top five is there. So maybe it'll budge between like 6 or 7 players. But defense and kicker, guys, come on, really? We don't need to do defense and kicker. But yeah, so how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm very excited. We're going to start the show off. We're going to talk about some injuries that just came up today, because there's a lot that just came out. We got some new people playing this week. And then at the very end of the show, I'm going to be doing the sportsbook talk. But again, like I said on sportsbook talk, I'm not giving any. I'm not giving you guys any recommendations on how to spend your money if you're doing that. I'll literally do the game. I'm gonna tell you guys the spread and then the over under for the game, and just give you my input on what I would do. Again, no money involved, guys. Don't ask me. Like I want the questions every week, and questions have been coming in, and it's been awesome. But when it comes to it's weird for me when it comes to people bet like hundreds of dollars, and I'm not trying to give any. I'm not trying to tell people how to bet with that, So it's like I don't want to toe that line, but yeah. So gonna get to it right away, guys. It's a little bit quicker episode this week. Very busy today. Like my last episodes have been like hour to 2 hours long. So this one we'll see what we get here, but it's not gonna be as thorough as I've been every single week so far. I've been kind of almost too much into it, and I know people just want to get to it and hear my ranks and stuff like that. So we're gonna go right to it right away. So at quarterback this week, first off, geez, I'm already jumping ahead. I wanted to go through this first. Injuries: Tua out this week. They just said that he's got fractured ribs. Who knows how long he's going to be out? I actually have not looked into, because I literally just found this out like 5 minutes ago. I did not even see who's going to be playing for Tua. Tua out for this week. Big Ben is in serious question, like usual. Holy cow, guys. I don't know why people still have faith in Big Ben and playing a full year. Crazy. Jarvis Landry's on IR, out for 3 weeks. Antonio Brown today just came up with COVID. He's vaccinated supposedly, and they're saying that he's probably going to be out for this week due to that. Tyrod Taylor, the story of the guy that just cannot get into a game. he's out on IR. Wow, poor guy. And then Dalton. Thank goodness, go Bears. Dalton is got a little bruised knee. So Justin Fields is starting for the Bears. Let's go. So those are the injuries for right now that I know of going into the week so far. Guys, I get my information. Also, if you guys want to get information like that, I get it from just I get multiple sources. I watch a lot of things, NFL Network. I watch Red Zone, everything. ESPN, NFL.com. But my main sources that I kind of go to the most is ESPN. The app on your phone, so go check that out. That's where I do. They're on top of information right away. Also, believe it or not, Twitter is like the best for information, like immediately. Somehow, people on Twitter know before anything is even released, and I get a lot of stuff from there. So Twitter and ESPN is where I get a lot of my information from. And then, so yeah, go look into that stuff. You'll find stuff immediately. So again, quarterbacks. So we're gonna go to it. Quarterbacks. Obviously, Mahomes. Like I said, every single week, I don't care who he's playing against. Mahomes is gonna be number one on my list. As long as he's got Kelsey and he's got Tyreek healthy, that's a go. Go Mahomes. Mahomies. At number 2, Kyler Murray. He is jumping to number 2 this week. MVP season. I'm telling you guys. The Cardinals are a scary team, nasty team. The weapons galore over there. Kyler is, I'm calling it, guys. Kyler's going to be running MVP this year. It's happening. So, at number 2, Kyler, playing against the Jags, too. So, yeah, I have a feeling Kyler's actually going to get sit at one point because they're just destroying them so much. So, there's also that. You got to look into stuff like that. But we'll see. That's just my opinion. Then third, Russell Wilson. playing against the Vikings at the Vikings. So about Russell Wilson, guys, like you're gonna see. I'm not gonna dive into it right away, but I have a surprise over my wide receiver set this week that we're gonna talk about it. But man, they're firing on all cylinders right now. Russell Wilson last week 350 yards, just about. I think it was like 343 exactly. Touchdowns are always there. Four touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. It doesn't matter. There's gonna be touchdowns everywhere for Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson at 3, especially against the Vikings. At number 4, this is a surprise because he's been my bust, and he's going to continue being my bust probably for until he starts showing otherwise. But he had a great week, and he's playing a terrible defense. So at number 4, Lamar Jackson at Detroit. He's going to run all over him. I'm not saying that he's going to be passing by any means like crazy. Marquise Brown and slipping my mind, but he just doesn't have the receivers over there, guys. Plus, Lamar Jackson, I just found out, has only had one game over 300 yards in his entire career yet. So it's not like he's lighting it up as through the air, but like his running, and he's playing Detroit this week. For that fact alone, dude, what's to say he doesn't run for 2-3 touchdowns again like he just did last week against Detroit? So, yeah, number 4 for him. At number five, guys, 5, 6, and 7 was kind of weird. They could have been jumbled all together. This is like the end of the quarterback list was kind of actually hard, believe it or not. Like I was going through it, and I'm just like, man, it's kind of tough to do. Matchups and everything, they're kind of tough. But so like these guys could kind of go in any order almost. But just to put it specifically in order, I'm just going to go with it. So at 5, I went with Justin Herbert against Kansas City. Justin Herbert every week. I think it's, as long as that offense is decent, I think it's going to be freaking going to town back and forth. Again, guys, like I said, Chargers, I'm super high on this year. Almost every single player over there on offense, I'm super high on. So, yeah, Justin Herbert's at 5. I think it's going to be a freaking gun show over there. At 6, I'm going to go with Dak Prescott. I know it was kind of a weird week this last week for him, but Dak, he slings. He's going to sling. He's going against the Eagles this week. I see Dak for some reason this week, 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns, calling it. So Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, again, as long as those two are healthy, that's a dynamic threat. And he's also gotten Zeke into the mix a little bit. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit too. So, but yeah, I got Dak at 6, and at 7, then I go Josh Allen. And guys, it's really weird because Josh Allen is like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Josh Allen is kind of like slowly on my list is like slipping. He's starting to slightly fall a little bit. Like I'm not seeing what I like to see last year out of Josh Allen. It hasn't been there, and it's almost worrisome that I'm almost feeling like he only has Diggs over there. That's like his only weapon. He's got Cole Beasley. What? So he started to slip just slightly for me, but again, he's at 7 still. So, but like I said, those guys all together, mix and match them, even with this next one. And the only reason he's so low on my list, especially with the way he's been playing already this year, at 8 is Tom Brady against the Rams. It's against the Rams. It's the only reason he's so low. It's insane to say that what Tom Brady is doing is like legendary again. But it's painful, trust me, I know. But Tom Brady, man, Tom Grady, this man is firing it up, and he looks good. But we'll see. He's going against the very, very, very probably the best secondary, one of the best secondaries, if anything, in football right now. So we'll see what happens. Plus, with Antonio Brown going down, like we just said, that's a threat gone. But man, he's been going Gronkowski anyway, so we'll see. At 9, he had his resurgence. He fired back. He fired back this week. Also pains me to say. But Aaron Rodgers is at 9, and he's going against the 49ers, another very, very tough defense. But Aaron Rodgers, all that hate he received in week 1, and a lot of people in week 2, like it was like a thing where people thought like he was throwing it. Man, if you watch them play over the last weekend, that's probably not the case right now. And again, who knows? But yeah, Aaron Rodgers looked like he was back to his slaying self. I just don't. I hope not though. Go Bears. Sorry, guys. Go Niners. Yeah, go Niners for sure. I'm actually a 49ers fan. Gene. I like the Niners. Kittle is my one of my favorite players in the league. I love Kittle. And then at 10, I got Matt Stafford against the Bucks. That's another, dude, 3 very tough defenses to go against right there. But Matt Stafford, it is hard to deny what he is doing over there on that team. And guys, I've said it since the beginning of the year. I'm really I know this is early, but dude, the Rams are going to be super deep. They're gonna go deep, and we're talking about week 3 going into right now. I know, but I'm calling it. The Rams are a possible freaking Super Bowl team right now. Is that if everybody stays healthy? Holy cow, that team is nasty right now. They got one of the best. They got probably the best defense in the league. You got Matt Stafford over there slinging it over there. Whew. Wow, it's a scary team right there. I have 2 scary teams there. With the Cardinals too. Cardinals scare me too. 2 really good teams. Staying away this week. It was actually there's not a lot of people I want to necessarily stay away from when it comes to quarterback. The only one, and he's gonna be my stay away for probably. I mean, he's got to really change my mind. But my stay away is Kirk Cousins against Seattle. Kirk Cousins just doesn't look. He doesn't look comfortable back in the slot or in the pocket at all. He looks like a scared puppy back there with people crowding in on him everywhere. And he's lucky he has the receivers he has with Thielen and Jefferson. I don't know, man. I'm staying away from Kirk Cousins. If I have any other person, for people who do like 2 quarterback sets, so one of my leagues is a 2 quarterback set, I kind of don't want any part of Kirk Cousins right now. I mean, if that's who you have and you don't really have anybody behind, obviously you're not dropping them and not playing them or whatever, but if you're playing a 1 quarterback set, you should be able to collect somebody off of just other than Kirk Cousins. I wouldn't be playing him, so he's my stay away. Breakouts this week. One of them is not really a breakout. I would just say, I guess, it's notable. Watch what he does, but I can't say it's a breakout at all. I do not like this quarterback at all. I actually think he's the worst quarterback in the league, in my opinion. But Daniel Jones over at the Giants, he's playing Atlanta this week, and Atlanta is just so horrid. And yeah, I'd say just watch Daniel Jones. Let's see what he does this week, but I would not be playing him. The guy's got 30 fumbles in 28 games as of last week. I didn't look at it this week, but 30 fumbles in 28 games is not a quarterback that I want to either have on my team or play. So, but it's notable to watch because this might be a game where he throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But you can watch that. It's something to look into. And then one of them that I am highly interested in what's going to happen this week is Teddy Bridgewater against the Jets. Teddy Bridgewater is on fire right now. This guy is coming out. This is the Teddy Bridgewater that people were kind of hoping to see after his injury a couple years ago. And he has got him over there too. He's got weapons everywhere. It's kind of scary for anybody going against them right now. He's on fire, lighting it up. It's good to see with the Broncos. They got good defense, better than mediocre receiver set. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they can get things cruising over there. So that's my quarterbacks as of right now. If you guys have questions, again, let me know. We'll always go into it every single week. Any questions you guys have, I'll always talk about it. The running backs, that's why I wanted to cruise, because running backs, I actually have a lot to say on here. I think every single week running backs is going to be like the most talked about thing on the show. But obviously it's at number 1. It is McCaffrey at number 1, especially against Houston. At Houston, doesn't matter where he's going. At Rams, at Tampa, always play Christian every single week and be confident that he's going to be the best running back that week. Dude, he's seriously just in prime mode right now, just tearing apart everything. Receiving, running, doesn't matter. 90 yards a week, both sets, running and receiving, touchdowns. It's just he's running that team over there. Safe to say, number 1. He's like the Mahomes of running backs over there. You just got to play him every single week, and he'll be at number 1. At number 2, Derrick Henry. Great week for Derrick Henry. 180-something yards. It's Henry back to the Henry mode that people were kind of worried after just week 1 that he was not Henry. Guys, it's Henry. And put respect on his name. He's at Indy, or no, he's at home this week, I think, against the Indy. So, yeah, Henry at number 2 for sure. And also, guys, on top of that, he actually had his record receiving receptions this week in football, too. People always complain he's not a receiving running back. I think he had like 6 receptions for like 40, 50 yards, if I'm not mistaken. He's working on it every single year. If you look at, I've showed his stats many times on there. Every single year, every single stat, he is increasing and increasing and increasing. And it looks like he's already increasing that receiving stat. So we'll see going forward. Something else to look into, guys. If he starts receiving that ball too, yikes. What a juggernaut. At number 3, Dalvin Cook against Seattle. He also, guys, take note on that. He did get slightly injured last week in the game. He went out for a couple plays. He didn't got banged up a little bit, and that's Dalvin Cook's motto: play until you get hurt, which is every single year. He's never played one full year yet, but I keep that in mind. He is still top 3. He is so fast. He's quickest running back, in my opinion, to get through that, get through the line. He just runs hard, runs right through, gives no F's, and is getting those first downs off of first down. So, yeah, and Dalvin Cook 3, yeah, it's safe to say. At 4, Alvin Kamara, very, very tough week for the Saints. There's been some like weird games for a lot of different teams. Green Bay week 1, the week 2. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I was kind of going into the year saying what happened to the Saints in week 2 is going to happen a whole lot. I think I don't think the Saints are a very, very good team. I mean, they're going to compete every week. You got freaking. It sucks to go back to the 30 for 30, but Winston, he played like Winston in week 2. So again, very watch that, but I don't know, man. Alvin's always still gonna produce though. Alvin, like I said, has never had less than like 1,500 all-purpose yards at every single year that he's been in the league. So you should always play Alvin no matter what. Doesn't matter what team he's going against either. I think that Alvin needs to be the leader of that offense over there and keep pushing. So let's see. At number 5. I got the Najee Harris at 5 against Cincy. Cincy, they're trying. And Najee Harris, especially with the word of Big Ben, he's a little banged up and injured. It says that he's trying very hard to be able to go this weekend. That doesn't sound good if you ask me. But Najee Harris, I feel like he's gonna be breaking out here within the next 2-3 weeks. He's a beast, and what game to break out than to break out against Cincy, who's not that good anyways. So Najee Harris at 5. At 6, I think I get to 6 every single week, and I start like, oh man, like it could go this, could go that, and it's kind of the same thing on my running backs. At 6, I do have Austin Eckler. I know he hasn't shown what I've been claiming of him so far exactly, but I do think he's going to have an Alvin Kamara type year. 1,600 all-purpose yards by the end of the year, receiving, running. It's just a matter of time. His receptions start coming into gear, and they start cooking with that. It's just that there's with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Herbie, there's a lot going on over there. So for them to get that running game going, if it starts really cooking, it's going to be a nasty, nasty threat. So at 6, Austin Eckler. At 7, don't mind me, my cat is over here being a idiot. Sorry. At 7, I am going to go Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones this week had all those touchdowns. So it looked like the Packers fought back. Tired of all the talks of how bad the Packers were after the first year, or after the first week. I loved it. I don't care what they thought. But Aaron Jones, he was back. He looked fast again. He looked good. So Aaron Jones back in the 7. Still, I'm watching it. San Francisco this week, no joke as far as defense. So, but Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm definitely watching that. I want to see what they do more. At 8, Jonathan Taylor. He hasn't had a great start to the year, and it was kind of what I was expecting. I thought they were actually going to be running more of a 3 running back set, and they've not really. I think that when I looked at it, like average wise, Jonathan Taylor's still only getting 15 attempts averaged around right there, and this is a running back that kind of needs the 20-25. I think the team in general needs to have him be having 20-25 attempts a game, and against the Titans, definitely possibility, especially if Wentz is hurt. Guys, also, when we're already past the quarterback, so I'll talk about it. Wentz has got 2 sprained ankles. And I don't want to laugh, but who gets 2 sprained ankles? Oh, man, that seems like it's such a Wentz thing. I don't know. But, yeah, with that happening, I mean, you got to maybe run a little bit. Come on, guys. Oh, hey, coming up for the steal the spotlight. So yeah, Jonathan Taylor 8. At number 9, Nick Chubb. I have Nick Chubb on there every single. Like, it's hard to not put Nick Chubb in the top 10. I'm not just saying it because I'm a Bears fan. I feel like the Bears, no matter, even though their defense hasn't been as good this year, and after 3 interceptions in a row last week, but I just don't think the Bears defense is good. Exactly. I think this is one of the weakest defenses we've seen out of the Bears in a while, but that they stuff the run. People just don't run. Dalvin doesn't run on the Bears. It's just the Bears, their run defense is kind of nasty. But Nick Chubb still belongs to be on this list because it's Nick Chubb, and this man kind of does what he wants. So it's a very scary person over there. But again, the Browns are injured everywhere. No Odell Beckham, no Landry. Baker Mayfield's hurt. They say he's got like a sprain, something in his shoulder. We'll see even if he plays too. He's also questionable. But even if he doesn't, it's gonna be more work for Nick Chubb. And if it goes his way, it doesn't go his way, we'll see. But at number 9, and then at number 10, surprise, probably for you guys. But I think we're at least hopefully let him go, let him loose if he's healthy. If he's not, then that's on me. But at 10, I have Saquon Barkley. And that's just because they're going against Atlanta again. Atlanta's had like consistently one of the worst defenses in years now, and I think that if there's a game for Saquon to finally get his 20-25 attempts a game, it's right now, and get the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands. You got to get the ball out of this guy's hands. Like, don't let him even touch. I wouldn't even be snapping it to him at this point. So, like, dude, run the ball with Saquon, let the man go, and just work on you're going to run him out there every single week, 12, 15 attempts a game, not let him get warmed up. He's going to get hit out there and get injured again. Let him do his thing. And then my stayaways this week, I've had him on my watch list, but I'm staying away. Antonio Gibson, he has it. Man, people were so freaking high on Antonio Gibson going into the year, and I didn't understand it. And again, he might have a games here where he breaks out, but like people were saying Antonio Gibson's gonna be the next Christian McCaffrey, and people were drafting this guy at the end of the first round, second round here, and it's like what is it's Washington still, guys. Like I didn't get the whole jump on Antonio Gibson thing, and this week they're playing at Buffalo. A very tough defense again, and I'm staying away from Gibson this week until he faces a soft defense and can show us what he could do, because I think he needs a soft defense to finally break out. He's not going to do it against the Buffalo. I'm staying away from Antonio Gibson. So and then also I'm staying away from Miles Sanders. I'm still sticking with I don't like anybody on the Eagles almost at all. I don't like that team. They're too young. I don't know anything. We don't know anything about them, really. People are so weirdly high on Jalen Hurts. When I was going through my ranks, like when I was looking at the professional ranks, like seeing what they were saying, guys on ESPN, almost across the board, they all had Jalen Hurts at like 7 on their ranked list for quarterbacks. Yeah, I didn't even touch him in my 10. No way. Guys, like what? Why? Like there's so many... There's also in my stay away another person that people are so high on, and I don't get it, is Joe Mixon. How many years have we said that How many years has Joe Mixon been drafted in the first 2 rounds? And look what this guy loses people weeks. Like Joe Mixon, anybody on the Eagles, I don't get because they're so ranked high, overrated, and they're just terrible. I don't know. Wow, why did I get so angry right there? I don't get it. Some of the people are high on certain players. I get it. I get that too, where I like a certain player and I stay pretty high on them. But like week in and week out, there's certain players that are just way overrated, and I don't understand it. I am on my watch list this week. I actually have a few here. So I'm watching Chris Carson against the Vikings. Chris Carson's having a good start to the year. He's doing really good for the Seattle Seahawks, and against Vikings, it is in Minnesota, but still, I'm watching it. I think they need to run the ball. I think they're actually doing consistently pretty good running the ball right now. But Chris Carson, feed that man. He's doing good. I have him on my watch because it's kind of weird what's happening over there. But with Zeke, with Pollard last week, I kind of wonder if Pollard starts. I mean, he already has. For last year, he did better than Zeke. This year, he's doing better than Zeke. Does Pollard start really chunking into Zeke's play? And he kind of already has. So that's what I'm kind of watching. I kind of want to watch the running back situation over there. I know Zeke's their starter for sure. But I feel like it's only a matter of time where Pollard starts taking a 50-50 share really on him. And I think last week he kind of really did. I'm watching Chase Edmonds this week. Chase is a very sneaky play. Again, they're playing the Jets, I believe. Chase Edmonds. Oh, they're playing Jags. They're playing the Jags. So Chase Edmonds, sneaky. Watch that man. I know he's got a running back behind him, James Conner. Still, watch that man. He sneaky play. And then Montgomery. Montgomery is like way, in my opinion, and maybe it's because I'm a Bears fan. I don't know. I'm trying to put that aside, but I don't understand why Montgomery is like so underrated. You got Joe Mixon sitting at top 7 running back, but you got Montgomery sitting at 17 in their ranks. What is happening? I just don't get it. I think Montgomery needs a little bit more respect. He is going against Cleveland this week, a nasty front defensive line. But Montgomery's been kind of doing what he wants anyways. I know last week he only had like 65 yards. The week before that was a good week. But he's still, guys, if you watch the actual like play of him, he is showing very promising stuff. He getting hit in the backyard, 3 yards behind the line, still pushing and grabbing that 3-4 yards. Getting smacked too, like hard, and still pushing and getting the yards. So watch him. Those are my watches for running back. At receiver, again, here's another one every single week, probably number 1 on the list is Tyree Kill. He's nasty right now for Tyree Kill. And against the Chargers, like I said, it's gonna be a shootout over there. So Tyreek, number 1. Number 2, Devonta Adams. Obviously, I think that they said after halftime, Devonta Adams was the only one that catch the ball over there for Green Bay. He was the only reception. So Devonta Adams, number 2. Number 3, I think he's kind of not getting a whole lot of respect either. I mean, he gets respect, but they have him ranked like really low in the professionals. DeAndre Hopkins, I think needs to be at 3. Like I've said, is probably the most talented receiver out there. The guy catches absolutely everything. Nasty hands, and just the top weapon on the Cardinals, and Cardinals are a weapon in itself. So DeAndre Hopkins, 3. Number 4, Stephon Diggs, and that's just because he's the only weapon, I feel, in my opinion, right now for Josh Allen. They are playing Washington, which kind of scared me a little bit, and I almost wanted to drop him on the list. But to say Stephon's not going to have at least 100 yards this week, I see it happening almost every week. I'm going to say I think he's going to have 100 yards just because he is the only weapon for Allen right now. So I got 4, Stephon Diggs. At 5, technically has number 2 ranked stats right now, if anything, is Cooper Kupp. I had to put Cooper Kupp at 5. I know they have a lot of weapons over there with Woods and Kupp and Higbee, and Kupp deserves to be on the list. The guy's got 280 yards right now through 2 weeks, and I think like 3 touchdowns or something like that. Cooper Kupp's pretty nasty right now, and they are facing Bucks this week. Still, Cooper Kupp, 5, 6 and 7. I didn't know what to do here. 6 and 7, Metcalf and Lockett. I didn't know. I had no idea what to do. They're both playing. If anything, it's funny. Lockett's actually like way outplaying Metcalf right now, which is weird. I have no idea what's happening over there. They are playing the Vikings, so both of them have huge potential to have a huge game this week. Yeah, I hate saying 6-7, 2 receivers from the same team, but it's got to be right now. At 8, CD Lamb against Philly. That's actually I get that question a whole lot. It was another question this week. Do I think CD or Amari Cooper? Every single week, I'm going to say play both of them if you have. Don't play both of them. Do you play both of them if you have both of them? But if you had the draft still today, if you had a draft, I'm taking CD over Amari Cooper if that's the question. But yeah, CD 8. I think he's the most talented receiver over there, and I think that he still ends up being the number 1 receiver at the end of the year for Dallas. So I actually am getting that question a whole lot. Number 9, Keenan Allen. Again, Kansas City this week, playing them at Kansas City, and it's going to be a shootout. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, play them, feel safe, don't worry about it. I think it's going to be a shootout. At number 10, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, Justin Jefferson at 10. I'm going to stick with that. And then, obviously, notables. This guy could have been thrown in at 10, too. Probably should have been thrown in at 10. A.J. Brown against Indy. The Titans have kind of had a weird start to the year. A.J. Brown has still done decent, but it's been weird for Tennessee. And then my other watch, both of them together against Houston, DJ Moore and Cortland Sutton. Either of those guys, I think those are another. I think that's another receiver set. If you have them on your team, you're playing them this week. Cortland Sutton or DJ Moore, play them easily. My staying away, Terry McLaurin. I'm staying away. For sure, they're against Buffalo, and they don't have their quarterback. I know that they had Heineke last week, and he did decent. But I don't think he's gonna blow out against Buffalo by any means. So I'm staying away from Terry this week, and then I'm also I'm staying away from. You know what? I wrote this down before hearing about Antonio Brown, but I'm still gonna say, and I'm doing this just to have the number there to have the conversation. I'm staying away from Mike Evans this week too. Probably, in my opinion, honestly, guys, and I actually have him in one of my leagues. I think is the most inconsistent receiver in the league. The guy goes from 150 yards and a touchdown to having like 2 games of nothing, literally. Like, we'll have no receptions in a game. So I think he's the most inconsistent receiver. I still don't like it. And against the Rams, he's going to be going against Jalen Ramsey. I don't like that at all. So I'm guys, I know this is a wild call. So in my one league, I'll just tell you real quick. In my one league, I have Mike Evans. Let me pull it up real quick. I want to make sure that I'm saying this right. I'm actually thinking about sitting Mike Evans. Let me tell you what I have real quick in my one league that I'm actually thinking about it. Again, in fantasy, guys, if you guys ever like kind of are like going back and forth, like, oh man, should I don't sit there and ponder on it like all week. For me, I just say, you know what, you got to have the balls, play what is literally in my gut feeling, and I do it. And it's worked for me more often than not. Guys, I also in this week I have Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, but my receivers I have Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, Marquise Brown, and I think it's a for sure play. I really want to play Cortland Sutton. I don't want to sit him, and I got to play Justin Jefferson. Something in me, for some reason, something in me wants me to sit Mike Evans and play Marquise Brown. And I'm only saying that because after this week, I have to go back and see what happens as far as numbers go. But Marquise Brown is lighting it up right now. He's the only attack threat for Lamar Jackson, and they are. I mean, they're playing. They're playing Detroit this week. Marquise Brown, like something weirdly wants me to sit Mike Evans and play Marquise Brown over him. It's on paper terrible idea. But I don't know, guys. That's a weird one. I don't know. We'll see. So that is quarterback, running back, receivers for the week. Real quick, I will do all the spreads and over unders real quick. So Carolina Panthers against the Texans. I'm telling you what their spreads are. Because I'm looking it through. I'm not telling the certain app because I am not partnered with them. So on the app that I was looking at, they have Carolina by 8, spread 8 with a over under of 43. I think that's actually accurate in a way. I think that's very accurate. Texans, they don't have Tyrod Taylor this week. He's out. I don't even know who they have as a backup because what's his name is not playing. They already said that he's not. Deshaun Watson, he's not playing. So I don't even know who they have at quarterback at this point. So Carolina by 8 with 43. I see it. Then we have Pittsburgh Cincinnati. Pittsburgh by 4 with the over-under of 44 points. I'm kind of taking the over on that, and that's only because I've been saying this for years. If Ben plays, Ben normally does not throw at least under 3 touchdowns. Almost like I can almost always count on if Roethlisberger's playing, he's probably going to have 3 touchdowns in that game. And so I'm taking the over 44, and I am taking Pittsburgh at that. Then you got Kansas City Chargers at the 6-point spread for Kansas City, 6.5 with a 55.5 over under. I see that too. That's pretty accurate. I like that. Baltimore, Detroit, Baltimore with a 9-point spread, 49.5 points. Honestly, I'm taking the under. I want to take the under on that. In my opinion, 49.5. I'm taking the under of Baltimore and Detroit that game, but I am taking Baltimore with that spread. Cleveland, Chicago, and Cleveland negative. I'm not even talking about this one. I'm not. Because I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and people are going to be like, oh my God, what a Bears fan. But they have Cleveland at 7-point spread against the Bears with a 46-point over-under. I think I think that point is right, 46. I think it's right, but I honestly think something in me tells me the Bears are going to win this week. And that's just based on the injuries for Cleveland. No Landry, no Odell. Possibly no Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's hurt. On top of that, even if he plays, he's got a sprained shoulder. Something in me wants to say Chicago's winning this week. I'm really trying to put aside my favoritism. I'm really looking at like the overall picture, and I don't know how they say 7-point spread for Cleveland right now. So that's what I'm going with that. Then you got Bills, Washington. Bills by 8, it says, and with a points of 46 over under. I honestly like that one too. I maybe even an under. Do you bet the under of 46 points? Bills Washington. I think so. I'm doing the under of that, and I am taking Bills with that. Tennessee Indy. Tennessee 5.5 spread with 48 over under. Accurate. I think that's a good one. Cardinals, Jags. Cardinals with the 7.5 only with 51.5 spread. You know what? I'm taking the under of 51.5, and I'm also, if you guys could make a wider point spread, go ahead. I would at least take 10 for sure, at least 10. They're gonna cover the 7.5 for the Cardinals. They're gonna beat the Jags more than 7.5. I think that they're gonna be sitting starters at the end of the game. New England and New Orleans. New England is favored by 2.5 with a 41.5 point over under. It's a tough one. It really is. New England's decent. I want to say New Orleans is going to win that one. I think last week was a bad week for them. I don't think they have a bad week 2 times in a row. I kind of want to say New Orleans wins this one, so I'm going with that. Giants and Atlanta, probably the worst game of the week. They got Giants by a 3-point spread, 47.5. I could care less. That's accurate. I could care less about that, though. I don't really want to. Not those type of games. I'm not putting money on those type of games. I just don't want to. That's an ugly game. But I do say Giants win that game, if you're asking. I got Raiders versus the Dolphins. Raiders by 3.5 with a 45 over under. Accurate. I'm taking that. Almost probably that's accurate. Then you got Denver against the Jets. Denver 10.5 point spread with a 41 points over under. Weird to say I kind of like that one too. It's kind of accurate with these point spreads this week. I don't know. I do want to jump on a lot of these, especially that Cardinals Jags one. I kind of really want to jump on that one. But yeah, some of these a lot of these are more accurate than what at least in the first 2 weeks. Seattle, Minnesota. Seattle by 1.5 with 55.5 points over under. Something in me wants me to take the under on that one. 55.5 seems quite a bit. Seattle, Minnesota, that could be a shootout. I do think Seattle takes that one too, especially at 1.5. I'm taking that. Tampa Bay, Rams. They got Tampa Bay by 1.5 with a 55.5 points over under also. Big possibilities for that to possibly. I mean, that's 2 tough defenses too. That's a weird one. 2 probably top defenses, top 5 defenses on both sides, but also right now top 5 offenses on both sides. That's a tough one. I don't want to really touch the over under. But if you're asking me, I take the Rams in that game. Honestly, I'm taking the Rams in the Tampa Bay game. I think that the Tampa Bay is literally. I think Rams are the young version of Tampa Bay. Like they're the exact same team but younger. And that's the way I'm looking at it. So I'm taking the Rams in that game. Then you got San Francisco, Green Bay, which this is a cool one to see. They got San Francisco winning. They got the 3.5 for San Francisco on this with 50.5 spread or over under. Wow. It sucks, but I want to take Green Bay in that game. If I'm betting money on it, them saying San Francisco at the 3.5 spread, that makes me want to bite on Green Bay, taking that. And then also they got Dallas and Philly. Dallas with the 3.5 point spread with a 52 over under, and I think that's accurate too. I'm a Niners fan, and that worries me. It's just if Green Bay plays like they did in week 2 this last week, I don't know how Garoppolo matches Aaron Rodgers. And that's the only reason I say that. I like San Francisco's defense, and they could probably, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers just doesn't have it, they can contain Aaron Rodgers somehow. But especially if Aaron Rodgers can really only go, and that's the other thing, Aaron Rodgers only went to Devonta Adams. Like, legit, past halftime, the only person to have a reception on the Packers was Devonta Adams. So if they can contain Devonta Adams, it sounds like. I mean, also, they did have Aaron Jones. I don't know. Just the 3.5 for San Francisco kind of like looks weird to me over Green Bay. I don't like that one. But Dallas, Philly, that's accurate. 3.5 for Dallas, 52 points. Honestly, under. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm taking the under on that game. I don't think. I know Dallas is going to put up points. I really don't think Philly is that good, again, like I've said. And I'm taking the under 52 points in that game. I do take Dallas in that game for sure. 3.5. If I was making the spread, do you say 5? Do you say 5-point spread? Maybe that's being too mean. I don't know. I think Dallas is actually a really good team right now. They've looked really good. They kept up really good with the Bucks, and then they looked really good. I don't know, man. I think that Dallas is actually a pretty decent team right now. And again, like I said, I just don't know a whole lot about Philly. I love the rivalry. I'm definitely I'm there for it this week to watch it. Philly Devs big rivalry. It's gonna be fun for sure. Oh yeah, yeah, that's always fun. It's always fun to watch the Philly and Dallas. But yeah, Dallas for sure. So, but for today, that is the end of the Bud's Fantasy Football Show. I appreciate everybody that's coming in, week out. People messaging me, hey, when's the show going on? People texting me, giving me questions. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, they're going hopefully very soon. I'm actually looking for a very, very nice box. I don't know anybody that's into card reveals, like card openings, like the collectible cards and stuff like that. I'm trying to get my hands on a really, really nice box, and I'm going to open it live on stream. I know some people are really into that. And again, like I said, it's became like a huge hobby of mine recently. So I'm looking for a very, very nice box. I'm waiting for it. And then I'm going to be opening it up live on after. It'll be like at the end of the show. So I know some people don't want to see that, and some people just want to watch it for the exhilarating part of opening up a box. So that'll I'm hoping to have that on here very soon, probably in the next 2-3 weeks. But I will catch everybody on here for the Buds Fantasy Football Show next week. Thank you guys, everybody who tunes in every week. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So